All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Little extra video this weekend. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was announced as the 2025 NBA Kia MVP. Presented the award by Commissioner Adam Silver. And I just want to talk about how we got here, Shai's journey, because it was a wild journey, and all that good stuff. If you like what I have to say, like the video. If you have an opinion, comment it down below. Just like the vibes, consider subscribing. This was I wouldn't say an interesting MVP. It's a very controversial one, because a lot of people thought Shea wasn't the MVP. Thought he was a lot of things, shooting too many free throws, flopping too much. He was my pick from like the second month of the season. I was like, he's the MVP. He's on a great trajectory. He's gonna continue that trajectory. He did. We ended up here with the Thunder in the Western Conference Finals. Shea playing supreme ball. Had some bad games, had some good games throughout the season, but came away with the MVP. To go through the finalists for this year, the finalists were Shea, Nikola Jokic from the Denver Nuggets, and Giannis Antetokounmpo from the Milwaukee Bucks. Those were your finalists this year. Um, Giannis sort of snuck in towards the end. I never really saw him as the MVP this year. He's had some MVP seasons. This was not one of them. I'm not saying he played bad. Just to be in the conversation is a admirable. Give a tip of the cap to Giannis, and Jokic had a good season, man. But he's already won three of them things. So I think they got a little tired of voting for him. And Shea, this is his first MVP. I want to take a look um, back at how Shea got here, how he got to the Oklahoma City Thunder. He was traded to the Oklahoma City Thunder in the now notorious, I should say, Paul George deal um, in 29 in the 2019 offseason, going into 2019-2020. He was a sophomore player. He was traded for Paul George. Let's go through the trade again. um, the Clippers receive Paul George at the time, coming off an MVP season, coming off a Defensive Player of the Year season. Um, okay, he was in the conversation. He didn't win any of those in the conversation. And the Thunder received 2025 first round pick swap, 2024 first round pick swap, 2023 first round pick swap, 2023 protected first round pick via the Heat that turned into Jaime Jaquez, who plays for the Heat now. 2022 first round pick that turned into Jalen Williams. 2021 first round pick turned into Trey Mann, who is out of the league. I don't know. He's somewhere. Um, they got Danilo Gallinari back, who at the time was a pretty decent player. Had a good season the year prior, I believe. And then obviously they got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the now MVP. Looking back on how he got here, um, obviously he was drafted by the Hornets on draft night, then traded to the Clippers. He started his career 10 points a game, 3 assists, 1 steal. Um, I Speaking personally, I watched him and I was like, oh, I like his build. He's a long, lanky, um, defensive point guard, could guard some wings probably. Probably won't be anything, right? Probably would just be a defensive guy, right? In my moment, in 2018, 2019, I was like, oh, this kid's going to be a defensive guy, right? Cool. Can learn from, oh, who was on, was it? He was just, Kawhi wasn't even there. Yeah, so he wasn't going to learn from anybody. He was just going to be a defensive guy. That was my thought. And then he gets traded. And then when you used to get sent to Oklahoma, in this era, you think, oh, Oklahoma, yeah, they're just it's purgatory, you know. You get sent to purgatory, you get sent to Oklahoma. Who the hell wants to go to Oklahoma? Who the hell wants to play in Oklahoma? Who cares about Oklahoma, right? Oklahoma is kind of scary. If you know, you know. Um, anyways, in his first season in Oklahoma, 19 points a game, jumped up 9 points, a full 9 points. Um, Still averaging a steal, same amount of assists. Um, Rebounds went up to 5 from 2 from the last season. And then carrying on from 2020 all the way up to this season, 23 points a game, 24 points a game, 31 points a game, 30 points a game, 32 points a game. In these last 3 seasons I read off to you, all-star seasons. All Star season. First All Star season was 2022-2023, and his steals went down a little bit there for a moment, and then they've jumped back up to two a game in 2023-2024, and 2.4 or 1.7, pardon me, in 2024-2025. So he's kept his defensive consistency while elevating supremely, just elevating his his offensive game to a whole new height. Um, and his rebounding has stayed around 5 for most of his career since getting traded to Oklahoma, and his free throw percentage has dipped a little bit, um, but still around 85, always above 85 since he's been in Oklahoma, or his last 3 seasons in Oklahoma. And his attempts have shot way up. He was actually shooting 9 a game his first All Star appearance, 9.8, and he's around 9. He's around 7.6, 7.9 this season. Um, yeah. What a if you ask somebody what they thought about Shea, they'd probably say something similar to what I said. He had some offensive vision in the sense of like he would pass the ball well. Um, he 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 had some layups that were amazing his first 2 years, and then um, what year was that? Was that 2020, 2021? I believe it was. I believe it was. I want to see the Oklahoma City Thunder team in that year. 2020, 2021. Um, oh, we have to go back. We have to go back. We have to go back. And then this is a big part of his story, I think, is was it the year? I'm trying to find. Yes, this is it. It was the year before. 2019, 2020 for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was a big year. Not because like his he took that 9 point jump, no discredit to that. But the team acquired Chris Paul from the um from the Rockets, and Chris Paul, um, coming off a year of disappointment. Chris Paul, one of the greatest point guards of all time in our game, um, really, really a leader through and through. A bit hard, a bit rough around the edges. Has been called an asshole by teammates, but lovingly, former teammates. Um, and whenever you bring a guy in like Chris Paul to a young team like this team had Darius Baisley, Hamidou Diallo, a young losing Dort, Danilo Gallinari, Shea, um, Mike Muscala, Abil Nader, Nerlens Noel, just a bunch of yuck on this team, right? But this team made a pretty good playoff run, I believe. Um, and Chris Paul was so important to Shea's development. Um, Chris Paul played in a lineup with they ran a 3 guard lineup. They ran Chris Paul, who's 6 foot. They ran Dennis Schroeder, who's 6'1", and they ran Shea, who's 6'6", all at the same time. And this was such a big season, a developmental season for Shea, because I think he learned so much from Chris Paul, and Chris Paul imparted so much knowledge onto him. And I'm not saying Chris Paul is the reason why he's the MVP now, but I think it's not anything to say that Chris Paul brought him to a new level. Um, and what strikes me is that um, there's a quote about basketball. It's all about a lot of sports. It's leave the game in a better place than you left it. And Chris Paul is still playing. Chris Paul is sort of on his last legs. Um, he's probably going to go back to San Antonio next year. He was at the game last night. San Antonio's out of the playoffs, been out of the playoffs for a while. He was there to congratulate Shea in person about his MVP. And I think Chris Paul was such an underrated part of Shea's development. Not underrated, but like not so much talk about. Chris Paul has been hated, loved, questioned about can he still lead a team at the age he was when he got to Oklahoma. He did. Um, and I think it's just a big part. And I really want to tip my hat to Chris Paul for gifting us this player like Shai, who is Shai's a controversial figure because of the way he plays basketball. But I think at the end of the day, you have to really just say he played basketball. Did he play it the right way? No. Has every player that won MVP played basketball the right way? Probably not. But I do want to read off to you some company that Shai joins. Um, Shai joins some very infamous and special international players to win MVP. I'm going to read off a few here for you. Um, Hakeem Olajuwon, 1994 MVP from Nigeria. Um, Tim Duncan, 2002 2003 MVP from the U.S. Virgin Islands. Steve Nash, 2005 2006 MVP, also Canadian. Shai joins Steve Nash as the second Canadian to win most valuable player. Dirk Nowitzki, 2007 MVP from Germany. Shai also joins more recent company in Giannis Antetokounmpo, the 2019 and 2020 MVP from Greece. Um, joins Joel Embiid, the 2023 MVP from Cameroon. And Shai also joins Nikola Jokic, the 2021, 2022, and 2024 MVP from Serbia. So he is in elite company of very few. That makes 8 international MVPs um, in total. Obviously, winning multiple years for some of these guys. Um, but yeah, really, really interesting stuff there. And let's just let's go through some of these other MVP seasons. Oh well, let's do this first. Let's go through some of these other MVP seasons we have here. Um, just looking at some other seasons recently. We'll only do the last decade or two. Um, Shai, let's see here. Shai averaged 32 points a game this season. He joins he joins. He joins Joel Embiid, averaging 30 plus as an MVP. Joel averaged 33. He joins James Harden, who averaged 30 points a game in his MVP season 2018-2019. He joins Russell Westbrook, former Oklahoma City Thunder guard, who averaged 31 points a game 2016-2017 season. He also joins Steph Curry, who averaged 30 points a game in his 2015-2016 MVP campaign. And he also joins Kevin Durant, former Oklahoma City forward Kevin Durant, who averaged 32 points a game in 2013-2014. That's elite company, man. You see a lot of these MVPs, and I've read every one of the last decade or so who averaged 30 plus. A lot of these guys they get close to 30. Giannis got close to 30 twice. Nikola Jokic got close to 30 again. LeBron James got close to 30 um, twice. It's hard to average 30 in this league, man, especially these days. Um, well, I guess the whistle that Shai gets, is a bit different. Um, but it's still hard, man. You got to make the free throws. That's the biggest part of basketball, is making your free throws, and making those free throws can jump you up from 25 points. You take 5 free throws a game, just 5, right? You get up to 30. You get 30 plus points a game. You know, it's a little jumps. It's a little incremental jumps. Um, Shai this season shot 37% from 3. He joins even fewer company in that category. He joins. We'll do 30. If you shoot 35 or better, I'll count it. Nikola Jokic, who shot 38 in his 2020-2021 campaign. James Harden, who shot 37%. Same year he won MVP. Same year, 2017-2018. Steph Curry, who shot 45% from 3 in 2016-2017. Steph Curry again, 44% the year previous to that one. Kevin Durant, who shot 39% from 3. LeBron James, who shot 40% from 3 in 2012, 2013. And LeBron James, who shot 36% from 3 in 2011, 2012. That's just the progression of the game, also. But man, he's not really known as a 3 point shooter either, Shay. So this isn't even like his best 3 point shooting year. Well, I should actually look that up. I shouldn't talk out of my ass, should I? No, this is his best 3 point. Well, no, there was another season here, 41%. Yeah, so this is around. I'd say this is around more of his average of where he's going to shoot for his career, around 38, 37, to 36. But to join guys like that shooting 35+% while winning the MVP is good because you do have to take a lot of shots again to get to 30 points. To be the MVP, to lead a team, and to shoot that good of a percentage is really good. Um, his defense is around what you would expect for an MVP. A lot of these MVPs, one block, one steal, usually gets the job done. You have Steph Curry in here, um, 2 steals a game. You have yeah, around yeah, 1 or 2 steals usually gets it done. Not that MVP is a defensive award, but I think it matters a little bit. Um, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is the first guard to win the award this decade because it's been Giannis, it's been Nikola Jokic twice, it's been Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic again, and then Shai, the last guard to win MVP, former Oklahoma City guard, but he won it when he was a Houston Rocket, James Harden, in 2017, 2018. So Shai joins. Let me see here. Shai joins Shai. Oh, Shai joins Shai. Shai joins James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Steph Curry, Derrick Rose, Kobe Bryant, Steve Nash, Allen Iverson, Michael Jordan, um, Julius Irving, Oscar Robinson, uh, Bob Cousy. Was Bob Pettit a guard? I'm not even sure if he was. I don't think he was a guard. No, he wasn't. He joins very few company of guards who have won the award. What is that? That's one, two, uh, one, two, three. Oh, I guess Magic Johnson's a point. Damn. So one, two, three, four. He's a point guard. Four, five, six, seven, 8, 9, 10, 11. He's around the 12th or 13th. I'm probably missing somebody from the older eras because I don't know their positions back then. He's only one of Baker's dozen around that to win the award as a guard, and that's super impressive. Um, Especially when the game is leaning more um, big oriented or back to big oriented in the sense of the big being your franchise player. Um, Obviously, a guy like Luka Doncic has been in these conversations, hasn't been able to put together a full season to win the award. He's also a guard. Um, and to talk about some guys who also got votes and some guys who I think could win it next year, because we have to start talking about next year already. um, who could win the award next year? Just a little bit. I'm going to dive too deep because it's still in the playoffs and the finals haven't happened yet. Um, this is done by points. So Um, fifth place is worth 1 point. Fourth place is worth 3 points. Third place is worth 5 points. Second place is worth 7 points. First place is worth 10 points. And they tabulate all these numbers, and you get the MVP. Right? Shai won the MVP with a total of 913 votes. He got 29 second place votes and 71 first place votes. Just for reference. So down here we have Evan Mobley, who won Defensive Player of the Year this year in the NBA, who only got one fifth place vote, so he got 1 point. Um, I don't think Evan Mobley is going to get there to be MVP. I think he's right where he needs to be in the conversation, later in the conversation, but always going to be a Defensive Player of the Year. James Harden also had one fifth place vote. Had a good revival season, but man, oh man, he's so hard to be a fan of. I'm so happy I'm not a fan of him because he just keeps disappointing everybody around him. um, New York Knicks point guard Jalen Brunson, 1 point, one fifth place vote. Um, I have no. You know what? You play in New York, you always gonna get votes. You're always gonna get votes. Could he get to win the award? I don't think so. I think he's a bit too old. I think he's He's right where he is. This is Jalen Brunson's peak, and if this is his peak, he's really good. But is he the MVP? Steph Curry got two fifth place votes. Steph Curry a little past his prime. It's starting to show. It makes me sad. Um, but I think the two that he has are the two that he's going to retire with, and that's all well and good. Anthony Edwards got six fifth place votes and two fourth place votes. Anthony Edwards could definitely be in the conversation for MVP at some point in his career. They did just lose to Oklahoma again last night as I'm recording this. Um, I don't know. I think in order for him to win the MVP, he needs to have a secondary guy on his team so he can take less shots, take more efficient shots. Even though he had the best 3 point percentage this year, um, in the NBA, I think his load needs to be a little less. So he can be more selective with his shots, smarter with his shots, not have to carry the burden each night. Even though that's what an MVP is supposed to do, you're supposed to do it when you want to do it. Um, it should be easy for you to win the MVP. It should be easy. It should look easy at least. Next guy, Cade Cunningham, 9 fifth place votes and one fourth place vote. Cade could definitely win it. Being in Detroit's a little bit hard to win it because it is a bit of a smaller market, even though it's sort of like a proto big market. I don't exactly know if he could win it. I don't know what he would need to do to win it. I think he just needs to keep improving, man. LeBron James always gonna get votes. He got 13 fifth place votes, and he got one fourth place vote. Um, a 40-year-old being in this conversation like LeBron James is kind of crazy. I mean, he's always going to have stands. He's going to have fans who vote for him anyways because he's just freaking LeBron James. That's just so stupid. But he got a nod, I guess. Congratulations, LeBron. um, Donovan Mitchell, 65th place votes. Or, yes, yeah, 60, yes, 60? Yeah, that'd be 60, yeah. I guess that's, yeah, yeah. I thought I was saying this wrong the whole time. I think that's right. Or at least the tabulation, I should say. The tabulation is worth 60. And then three, um, no, then that doesn't make sense. Yeah, so the full tabulation, I'm sorry, I was reading this wrong. The full tabulation is um, the amount I've been saying. So 60 points worth of fifth place votes, and then 3.1 third, one fourth place vote. So 3 points. Yeah, if you're confused, I'm confused too. Just walk with me. Walk with me. It'll make sense. It makes sense, right? I'm just reading them in order. I'm reading who got the most votes. It can't be that hard. And then he got one third place vote. Um, Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell is just the same thing with Jalen Brunson. He just is who he is. He's not young enough to improve anymore. He's just old enough to be where he's at, and that's like maybe a top 5 shooting guard in the game right now, which is fine. But he's never going to win MVP. Um, Now we'll just read the totals for you guys because this doesn't matter. Now we're getting into other stuff. Jason Tatum with 311 votes total points, um, varying from third, fourth, and fifth place. Um, I thought about I thought about Jason Tatum for MVP at some point in the season, and obviously he dealt with the Achilles injury. He has him all out for the playoffs this year, probably all of next year. Um, might not ever be this high again because the Achilles injury is a tricky one. Um, but I thought about for a second. He did improve his game. He was passing a bit more. He's more point forward than point than power than forward. He's a lot more well rounded. And I think that's where he's gonna have to lean into when he comes back from this injury. And if he can lean into it, I'm not saying he could win MVP and not next year, but the year after that. But he could still be in this conversation. Not around this area, maybe because he's in Boston, he'll get these votes again. But um, yeah, I thought about it for a second. Then Giannis with 470 in third place. These are the final three that I read earlier. Nikola Jokic with 787, and then Shai, obviously the winner. these two guys that finished behind Shea, Nikola, and Giannis both have won the award before. Both are MVP caliber guys, obviously. There's nothing to say about them except Shea was the favorite this year, and he got the votes. And he, for being in Oklahoma, man, he got a lot of people behind him. A lot of people hate him. A lot of people love him. I feel indifferent. I could care less. Um, he didn't bump my team from the playoffs. He never did anything wrong to me. So Shea is a deserving MVP. And the last thing I want to do here is go through his season this year, and find his best game. Um, see what game, see what game really was his best one. We're gonna go by points, so let's find the best game here by points in the regular season, I should say. I'm seeing a 42-point game, last game of the regular season against the Lakers. So that's the benchmark right now. 42. Got a 48 against Detroit. Okay, okay. Ooh, now we're getting good. We got a 51-point game versus the Rockets. In a tight game, actually. That looks like a 9 point. What's that? 9 point game, yeah. 51's the benchmark now. 51, 51. There's a 50. That doesn't beat it, though. 51, 51. Oh, here we go. I say he's never done anything wrong to me. And one of his best games, his best game so far is a 52-point game against the Warriors, but they lost that game. Going for 52, going for 52, going for 52, 52, 52, 52. I'm not seeing anything that's beating this 52-point game here. I'm not seeing it. Nope. His best game was against the Warriors in a loss, 52-point game. Let's look at this game real quick. Let's look at this game. Best game. Highest scoring game, I should say. Technically best game. But if you want to get like really like picky about it, then I could probably find another game. But in his best game, this was, oh geez, when was this? This was January 29th. Yeah, January 29th, 2025. Um, he had 52 points in this game, 1 steal, 4 assists, 3 rebounds, 16 of 29, 2 of 6 from 3, 18 of 21 from free throw. Jeez, these are the games people are talking about when he shoots a lot of free throws. This was his best game this year, and they lost it to the Warriors. That's interesting. That's good to know. So yeah, 52-point game. What's his career high in points? That'd be interesting. What's his career? Let me look this up. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander career high points. Oh my god, I don't want the whole. Hold on. His career high in points is 54. When was that? I guess the Jazz. Wait, did I mess up here? Have I messed up? Entirely possible. Entirely possible. Let me see. 50. It says this year. Am I bugging? Guess the Jazz. I guess the Jazz. That could have been this year, could it? Jazz. Walk with me here for a second. I'm trying to see if I don't think I messed up. I might. No. That's the Jazz. That's a Jazz game. Oh, I apologize. His best game was a 54-point game against the Utah Jazz, and they won that game, not by a lot. So ignore everything I just said. Oh boy, this is why you should just look. You should just Google the thing instead of looking through the game logs one by one. 54-point game. Let's see. What did he had? 3 steals, 2 blocks, 5 assists, 8 rebounds, 17 to 20, 17 of 18 from free throw, 3 of 10 from three. That was his best game. I lied. It wasn't against the Warriors. It was against the Utah Jazz. So there you have it. That's the video. Congrats to Shai. It looks like at this point, as I'm recording this, they're going to the finals, so the MVP will be in the finals. And man, oh man, will he repeat? At this point in the season, at this point, as I'm making this video, it looks like it, man. Unless Giannis is on a new team and he makes a big splash, I don't see anybody else winning this award. So he might go back to back. He might be the first back to back MVP since Nikola Jokic in the 2020 to 2022 season. And Giannis did it in 2018, in 2020. Um, Steph Curry did it in 2014 to 2016. LeBron James did it in 2011 to 2013. So if he does it again, he's going to be an even more elite company. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see you guys next time. Cheers.